What the? Connor got the top of the class? Not Grace? Wait! Grace, is Connor actually smarter than you? No! That can't be true! Grace then burst in tears, but to me, it gave me so much pleasure that I nearly messed up the speech. My speech to the audience detailed everything about my poor upbringing, about how seeing all those fortunate around me motivated me to take my studies seriously and achieve the top of class status. But I could tell no one was really listening, as they were either rolling their eyes, glaring at me, or comforting Grace. Despite that, I couldn't help but keep smiling to myself. By graduation, I had saved myself a little fortune, and I'd quit the warehouse job and was hired at the same finance firm as my dad's. There, I learned about investment in stocks, whereas my classmates were out throwing parties and going on shopping sprees. I didn't have to worry about paying for college, as many colleges offered scholarships thanks to my principal's recommendation. And my poverty for sure. Need-based scholarships were what pulled me through college applications, and I spent several nights after work slaving away applying to scholarships like it was an obsession. But it was worth it. In the next year, I had secured my admission to a prestigious business school. I took my university studies as seriously as my high school studies, and I kept tabs on all of my classmates on social media. One day, during my second year of college, I saw one of my former friends' posts, and that was when I knew I could make my next move. I just had the best interview in my life for an amazing part-time management role. Everyone loved me, and I know 100% I'm getting the offer tomorrow. It had hundreds of likes, but all I cared to see was how he tagged the company's recruiter, and I knew it was him just trying to win brownie points from her. But his mistake was that he gave those brownie points to me. I spent the next few hours researching everything about the company. Then I clicked on the recruiter's profile, found her number, and gave her a call. Hello? Hi! I just saw that your company has a job posting for... It was so easy. Over the phone, I expressed so much interest and knowledge in her company that she was speechless, showing as much passion and excitement for the role as I could and telling her everything I knew about business, finance, and management I studied for in high school and university. Oh my gosh! You sound exactly like the candidate we are looking for. Oh, I'm so flattered, man. May I ask if I can interview for this role? I would absolutely love to work for your company. She happily agreed, and the very next day, the job offer was in my inbox. I kept scoring victories like these, and every bit of revenge I extracted on my bullies gave me a craving for more. Stealing someone's job, topping the bid for auctions and snatching their dream items from them, buying their favorite video games and concert tickets and reselling these to them for inflated prices. I had changed jobs so often, plucking them from my bully's grasp, using my previous experience and salary to my advantage to secure extremely high-paying roles. Studying was still my highest priority, but I was still saving and investing like crazy, only splurging to put another revenge plan into action. And one day, during my senior year of college, I checked my bank account. $1 million. It was something I thought I'd never see even until the day I died. Even I hadn't known how much money I had earned, purely fueled from my desire for revenge against those that wronged me. Without hesitating, I transferred half of it to my dad back home, who was now under a caretaker. Connor! What in the world? Relax, Dad. See? I told you we weren't worthless. Don't worry about me. Get better. Okay? When I got my diploma, that was when I thought my plans for revenge had been fulfilled. I was no longer in poverty, and I made my classmates pay. My desire for revenge was quenched. Wasn't it? Ding! But when I saw the new post, I knew there was one more plan for revenge I had to extract. I showed up to my high school's reunion party in one of the finest suits I found. Something I bought just for this occasion. From the night I saw my former classmates' posts about our high school reunion party, I began going to the gym, styling my hair and wearing cologne. By the time I arrived at the party 3 weeks later, No one recognized who I was, but I knew every inch of their faces from keeping such a close eye on them all these years. Hey, who are you?
Wow, you're spiffy. Do I know you?
A mini crowd had formed around me, everyone wondering who I was. Just when I was going to drop the shocking news, I saw Grace. She was staring, awestruck at me, and smoothly, I walked up to her, wrapping my arm around her shoulders. We exchanged gazes, and she was staring so intently at me, but all I did was smile. Then I turned to everyone. I'm Connor, I told everyone. Grace's boyfriend. Gasps swarmed the air. Grace is the loudest. She gripped me on the arm and stared back into my eyes. Oh, Connor. Connor. You came back for me. You changed for me. Of course, Grace. Anything for you. The rest of the party was a blast. People laughed with me rather than at me, and everyone loved being next to me. Many of them gazed at me with awe and respect when I told them about my job, my school, and my $1 million. Hey, Connor. You see, I'm struggling a little bit, and if it isn't too much to ask, may I borrow a couple $1,000? You have so much.
Yeah, me too, please. We hung out all the time when we were young. We're sorry we treated you that way back then. We were kids. You understand, right?
I could have done it there. I could have screamed and laughed at all of them at what failures they were, unlike me. But I didn't. The silent desperation and dread in their eyes when I told them to take care of themselves was better than any other outburst, and I savored in their anguish that I'd suffered all of those years before. After the party ended, I kept in contact with Grace afterwards. With my savings, I began running my own business. A finance firm just like the one my dad worked at, which had long ago closed down. It was a miracle. I started getting invited to conferences speaking about my work all around the country, and as a result, I grew richer and richer. For several months, Grace and I met every week, and we began going out. I bought her the lavish dinners and gifts she dreamed of, presenting her all the designer shoes and dresses she ever wanted. Eventually, she moved in with me, and I bought a wedding ring and left the box hidden in the kitchen pantry for weeks, which she checked secretly every day, even though I knew she was. And one night, the night before my biggest conference, which also happened to be Valentine's Day, I took the box and told her to come to my presentation tomorrow for a special announcement.
Of course I will, babe.
And so, on Valentine's Day, I surprised her with a limo at our doorstep, and we rode it to the conference center. Because the spring conference was the largest of the year, there were so many people there. I even told Grace to invite our entire graduating class and all of her friends. When we stepped out of the limo, all of my former classmates were congratulating me, saying good luck and telling Grace she was a lucky gal, while many stared at me with awe, respect, and envy. I led her to a front row seat before beginning my speech, a large slideshow behind me showing my presentation. Today, I want to tell everyone my journey. I started out with nothing, and I grew up getting shunned and rejected by everyone for being poor. People made fun of my poverty, my house, and my clothes, and they made me an outcast. But then, there was Grace. Everyone was watching and the whole room was quiet. It was perfect. To everyone's surprise, I stepped down from the stage, walking right towards Grace. Yes, Grace. She made me feel something different for the first time. And she made my high school days truly unforgettable. And in front of the entire crowd of classmates, entrepreneurs, and guests, I dropped down to one knee, pulling the ring box out. Grace, will you marry me?
Am I an idiot? Of course I will!
Grace was absolutely thrilled. She was wearing a beautiful red dress, had everyone's attention, and was going to marry me. A rich guy. But before I slipped the ring on her finger, I stood up. Grace, you mean everything to me. I want to show you and everyone a special video first. About our precious memories. About how you were the reason for who I am today. Grace was pleasantly surprised at my words, growing shy and giggly. But I wasted no more time as I walked towards the projector that was showing my slideshow presentation, switching the slideshow to the next slide where the video was. I played it. The entire crowd of conference guests, businessmen, and our old classmates gasped and shrieked in surprise. On the projector screen, a video of her throwing down the flowers and necklace at the thrift store was shown on full display, her full yelling voice echoing in maximum volume, while my pathetic self in the video looked down. It was the same video that was posted across the school. Then, the slideshow continued scrolling, showing screenshots of her and everyone's hateful comments. And when I peered back at my former classmates, shocked guests, and Grace herself, I knew I had finally won. As I said, our precious memories. Gasps exploded. The conference guests gaped at her with angry silence, and our classmates were looking around, horrified and embarrassed I had exposed their ugly past to the general public. Grace ran up to me, tears flooding her eyes. "Please, Connor, I was wrong about you. Please don't do this." "You should have realized that sooner before you decided to abandon me." And without another glance back, I walked to my limo, leaving her to her doom. The ultimate revenge was complete. And that's where we're at. I wish I could tell you more about how successful my life was afterwards, but I have to run to a car detailing appointment. My limo can't wash itself, you see.